I'm Tamra Wight, the owner of Poland Spring Campground, a teacher's aide at Whittier Middle School, and the author of a new eco-adventure series, Cooper Packrat. Cooper is a nature geek whose parents own Wilder Family Campground, and you'd think he'd have lots of time to be out on the lake and hike since they own 60 acres of land. But running a campground is a lot more work than he thought. He ends up spending more time raking sites, picking up trash, and trying to get into the ladies' room to clean it than he does watching loons and eagles. Packrat is a new camper, and he quickly becomes Cooper's best friend. He carries everything they need for anything they want to do in his trench coat full of pockets. A deck of cards, a hammer, a notebook, a flashlight, you name it, and he's got it. In Mystery of Pine Lake, which was released last August, the boys discover the water level of the lake is rising too fast. They investigate and discover someone put a board in the dam. The water floods the loon nest, and the eggs are lost. Cooper and Packrat quickly come up with a plan to help the loons re-nest, but someone keeps trying to stop them. Who'd want to hurt the loons? It's up to the boys to find whoever it is and stop them before they destroy the loons' new set of eggs. In the Mystery of the Eagle's Nest, Cooper and Packrat are horrified to find eagle parts in one of their geocache boxes. An eagle head on a carved stick, eagle talons, and feathers. The boys know it's illegal to own them, so they pretend they don't have them in hopes of getting the parts to the warden. But the bad guy goons and their mysterious boss won't leave the campground empty-handed, and to make matters worse, they start eyeing the nesting eaglets on Pine Lake. Mystery of the Eagle's Nest is coming out this August. And right now, I'm researching fox kits for Cooper and Packrat's third adventure to be released in 2016. I'd planned for book 3 to have bears, but until I stumbled on a fox den quite by accident a couple years ago, and the curious brown eyes of the 5 kits I saw grabbed hold of my heart. Most of my research and inspiration is firsthand through my camera lens. Whenever I can sneak out of the campground office, I kayak Lower Rang Pond. Just this morning, I took photos of an osprey being chased from his perch by a little swallow, goslings hiding in the grass, a muskrat snacking on a mussel, 3 separate loon pairs diving and preening together, and 1 empty loon nest with an unhatched egg. We have a trail that I like to hike. It follows the outer edges of the campground and goes along the lake. And in the winter, I snowshoe it, especially when it's time to monitor the eagles. They start nesting in late February or early March, and their chicks are born right around the first week of May. My campers and I spend hours trying to catch the first of the little gray heads poking up out of the nest. The eagles moved onto the island 10 years ago, stealing the osprey's nest right out from under them. The eagle pair have had chicks survive every year since, and even had triplets 3 years ago, which was the inspiration for Mystery of the Eagle's Nest. Every chick survived and fledged, although one of them kept coming back to cry for food until late September. We called him the baby. One summer, a biologist came to ban the eaglets, and I was lucky enough to go with him. They lowered the eaglets one by one in a burlap bag. He and the team measured the wings and the talons, took blood, banded both legs, and then put them back in the nest. I knew right then it had to be a scene in a book. My campers are a great source of inspiration too, especially my camping kids. They report back to me the things they see on the lake and in the campground. They've brought me frogs they've found in the pool, which we then put in my garden, much like Cooper rescued Oscar the 3-legged frog. They bring me insects and salamanders to identify, and turtles that they thought were lost, but were really just heading uphill from the lake to lay eggs. I can't forget to mention the students at Whittier Middle School either. They help bring me back to my middle school self. More importantly, they show me what it's like to be a middle schooler today. Just standing in the lunchroom, surrounded by 200 plus 7th and 8th graders, gives me enough research for another 10 books, easy. When my husband and I decided to run a campground 23 years ago, I went from a cubicle job to being plunked down in the middle of the woods on the edge of a 290-acre lake. I've been in love with nature ever since. I'm always asked, is Cooper based on your son or daughter? He isn't. If I'm to be honest, Cooper is me. There's a lot more information about me, my wildlife photography, the campground, and Cooper and Packrat's adventures too, all at tamrawight.com. Stop by and say hi.